But I think my favourite ones, the ones that always make me smile, are Ozzy.
Okay, let me write these down.
And Dale Winton.
Yeah.
And George Bush.
Yeah.
They're the ones that always guarantee. I've heard them a million times, and they always make me smile. Every time. I can't not smile when I hear you do them. And all my impressions are my impressions of John's impressions. Yeah. So, when I do Ozzy, I have to move the hair out of my face because John always does.
I know that's the thing with Ozzy. You always like moving like hair out of the way your head that you haven't got. You know?
Every time.
And every sentence needs a few sort of like hesitations to sort of ramp it up, and then it starts. I like that clip about you trying to pull my wife.
Right, yeah. Sorry about that. And then obviously there's George Bush, because George Bush always says nonsensical things.
My fellow Pelicans. I just want to objectify the news that this great program is moving on.
Yeah.
And those people who instigated this decision are going to be brought to justice. We will not let this happen.
Thank you.
Not on my watch.
Thank you, George. It's very nice of you. And then Dale Winton has always made me smile.
I know, darling. I know. I can't believe it's just not going to be the same. I am going to do that thing of recording the whole show, every last one that happens from here on until you're done. And I'm going to play them at 6:30 every morning and just have a sort of Chris Moyles Show Groundhog Day. Forevermore.
Thank you, Dale.
I think that Dale, of all your impressions, which is quite a catalogue, I think that Dale is your most technically perfect one.
Oh, interesting.
Out of all of them. I've always thought that. I think it's the closest one to...
Is that because you think John is camp in real life, therefore it's not much of an effort?
I just think they're all brilliant, but I just think that's technically your best.
He's got a very good voice, actually, Dale. You know, former DJ.
Yeah.
And he's really got that tone about it, that sort of smoothness and that sort of speaking from quite low in the register there, darling.
It's brilliant.
Oh, man. You've got to nail Nick Grimshaw's voice. You've got to really get that.
He's somewhere that there's mixes of different people in voices. I think there's a hint of Gary Barlow there somewhere, a hint of William Hague.
Right, he'll love that.
You know when you're working on a new impression, can you work on 2 or 3 new ones at the same time when you're developing them, or do you have to just focus on one while it's in the? Do you know what I mean? While it's in the development stages.
Yeah, I think you can look at a few at a time. It's easier though if you just concentrate on the one and just get your Sky Plus recordings, get your YouTube clips, and just have a good old look. And then just a bit like learning a new language, listen and repeat for a while, listen and repeat, and then leave it.
Yeah.
Just let your subconscious do a bit of work, and then come back to it.
Yeah.
And you'll find a little bit of has happened on its own.
I remember John trying to, when he was mastering Robbie Williams' voice, and there would be a while where he would only speak as Robbie Williams, almost. Like, not to the point where it was obsessive and weird, but whenever he could, he would just drop into
because it's all helping, presumably.
Yeah, you're trying to get the hook on whatever identifies that person, and then you're trying to exaggerate it a little bit.
Yeah.
And with Robbie, it was, just the attitude and that sort of strut and that stoke kind of thing going on. Some chaps. From Burslem and all that.
If Robbie was here now, what would you say? If you, Robbie, sending a message to real Robbie, what would you say?
I'd say, I'm looking forward to the new album coming out. And, that sort of newer. I don't know, I'd probably be a bit starstruck.
Oh, would you be starstruck if you talking to Robbie Williams?
I think so. I'd have to borrow his voice and personality and sort of like little gurn that he does. I'd have to get by with that. He was very kind, actually. I remember years and years and years ago when Take That just started, doing the Yorkshire Television Roadshow.
Love that.
I think it was in Scarborough or Bridlington, and I was doing my comedy act to about 4 people and a pet dog. And Take That were on as well afterwards in their very, very early days. And he came over afterwards and he says, "Do you know what? My dad was a comic, and you know he's worked as a comedian. And I was watching you out there. That crowd, they didn't deserve you.
Oh, bless you.
He was very, very kind with that.
Well, if he comes in on the show, here he is. No, it's not. It's not.
Do you know, I've got into Alan Carr for no reason. For a moment, I thought he was.
Well, if you're going to go into anybody, go into Alan.
Yeah, that's what they say.
And then the other good thing, the other good thing to do with John, and you can only really do that. In fact, you can't really do this, even as a good friend, is to hold John's arms down so he can't actually move his hands while he does an impression, and that's very difficult because even when John does Ozzy now, despite the fact John's not wearing a wig, he will still try and move the hair out of his eyes, which is. I don't think you can do Ozzy without doing that, moving the hair.
It'd be interesting to try and gaffer tape your arms to your side and then see how your impressions are.
Exactly. You'd be able to tell the difference, I think. Particularly with the sort of Michael McIntyre one, because you kind of need to sort of point the finger.
You can't help it.
It cannot be done. You sort of need to. Yeah, that heavy voice there and...
He loves that impression, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's a good one.
You know, John Bishop as well, another one with the hands. Like that. Sort of talking to the back of the arena. Like that.
Have you met John?
Yeah.
Have you done John to John, face to face?
Yeah, this is, you know, you don't realise the things that you do.
Last time I think you were on and you did it, you texted me going, I don't sound anything like that. I'm not that scouse. But of course he is. That was a great sketch you did about John.
Oh, his homecoming.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, when Scylla turned out to be his mum.
I love that. Well, thank you for coming in, John.
Thanks, John.
It's a pleasure.
Thanks for all the good laughs over the years. We've done many, many things over the years.
Yeah, it's 12 years, isn't it? 14 years.
It's about 15.
15.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
15 for us being on the air, and then very quickly when we got you in. And it was great. And we've had a lot of fun. We've had a lot of laughs.
We have. And here's your next glorious I sounded like Michael Johnson for some reason. I don't know why I did that, but...
It's fine. You can do that.
But, you know, all the best with your next glorious chapter, and I know you're going to rule and succeed and be great.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's very nice.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
And hell yeah to you too. Hell yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jon Culshaw.
Thank you.